Hey, we're going to be charting Bitcoin today. I know there's a lot of fear in the market, so we're going to take a look at the different outcomes that are possible for Bitcoin, the channel Bitcoin is stuck in, and my game plan, what I'm doing right now. So let's get right into the analysis. For checking out the channel. Every day we put out a new video about cryptocurrency education, markets, giveaways, and more. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss out on any content. Now let's go to the moon. Right into Bitcoin. As you know, the whole market kind of revolves around Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin isn't doing well, then the market is kind of getting dragged behind it. So we're going to plot up some points. We're going to take a look at the channel Bitcoin stuck in. So I just plotted the previous all-time high, and now I'm going to place the kind of major support that Bitcoin has been on through the prior year in 2021. So, and this is our top right here. So we had the deviation, a slight deviation right here where we broke it above, a nice, nasty double top, fake out, and now we're breaking back down. This isn't the Bitcoin I know where we're just breaking 3x above prior all-time highs. I expected a larger 2021, I'm not going to lie, but 2021 was super blessed. We had a ton of gains, a lot of new coins, and some coins just did, crazy amounts of gains. So let's go deeper into this zone we're in right now. So you can see that Bitcoin broke down right here. We were not successful. So now we're actually coming on a solid point where we are testing the prior all-time high, where we broke out the first high we set after breaking the 20,000, the major high before pulling back, which was about $42,000. So look at this point right here where Bitcoin is, and this is kind of the channel we're stuck. So I saw this yesterday, and people think that we may be kind of bouncing up and in this channel until we're ready to break off this huge accumulation zone right here. So you can see how we came into resistance here, and this was resistance here. We had it nice support here, bounced off support, and now we're coming back here supporting this. So this area would not be a bad spot to take along. I wouldn't go crazy here. I'd obviously be using stop losses. I took along myself on BYBIT. If we can get a bounce here, best case scenario, we would get a bounce and we would continue back up. So this is one outcome right here. If we were to bounce, maybe just consolidate it on here because everybody is so bearish. If we do break this zone right here, then more than likely we are going to go to the low 30s, 32, 33, and potentially test this prior support. So best case scenario is we kind of just accumulate here, we consolidate in this zone, and it chops up for a little bit while alts kind of run. And while Bitcoin dominance kind of just plays out, and I'm going to go into the Bitcoin dominance and why I think that Bitcoin might be ready for a price move soon to the upside. So you can see, or alts are just going to get smashed. So you can see we kind of consolidate here and then we break back above. This would be best case scenario. We break above these high points right here, this resistance, and then we come back to test it, and then we form a support over the prior resistance. That's a change of polarity, and then we move upwards into all-time highs. That's the best case scenario. So I am long here just in case we get the best case scenario. This is some heavy support, a heavy support zone right here. So if we don't bounce, then I'll cut the trade and I'll look for a long at the prior support right here, at a lower support, and I'll have a higher reward with less risk because I'm longing from the a lower support, right? So this would be best case scenario where we just kind of play into this. Now let's kind of look at the opposite side. So oops, I do not want to remove all drawings. If we break down to the bottom right here, We can throw on some moving averages. So I want to throw on the daily, and I threw the wrong ones on. I want to throw on the daily moving. When I switch over to the daily, I want to look at the moving averages. But right here, we are breaking into the 50 weekly. So the week isn't over. We still have 5 days, 14 hours. Or that's 5 hours. Today's Sunday, actually. Today is Sunday. So we have 5 hours. I'm going to see how this candle breaks. I look for 2 candles to break under support or resistance for confirmation. So here would be 2 candles under. So I would actually have to wait for another week to give me some solid confirmation. 1 candle is decent, but we are in some solid support. If I draw this trend line as well from here to here, yeah, we can bounce somewhere off here if we kind of are just stagnant. So this is best case scenario, as I said. If we look at a different scenario, we see Bitcoin breaking this down right here. We're seeing massive amounts of fear. Yesterday was a 10. That's the lowest we had last year when we had that first huge pullback. We were at a 10. So we actually matched those levels of fear. Now we're at a 23. We have a little bounce here. Some alts are bouncing. Bitcoin's not doing much, honestly. Ethereum, a couple percent, but from where they were, not much of gains. So we're seeing extreme fear in markets, and that gives us opportunities because people are selling their bags. They're flooding out of their bags. So if we break down and then come down here, this is where I would cut my trade, obviously for a loss because you don't win all of the trades, and I would look for a reposition here. Let's move over to the futures, and there's a huge saying that all gaps are filled. We have a huge gap right here, so this is playing the other outcome. If we didn't see a best case scenario and Bitcoin broke to the upside, we are now seeing Bitcoin potentially break down right here. So this is a Bitcoin CME futures, and you can see that we potentially could come and fill this gap right here and then trade back up. That is a scenario. I don't think we will break this right here. I mean, Bitcoin loves to throw those deep scam wicks. So if we did come here and people have orders or stop losses around here, this is a huge area for people to get liquidated. So if we did come here, my buy orders would be somewhere laddered around here because I'm hoping that I got wicked in and that all of these guys would get stopped out of their trades. I mean, they'd get pulled out, and maybe some shorts would be they would induce shorts, so a ton of shorts would come in here because you're breaking this low. You're breaking this area, and then Bitcoin does what it does and it bounces. So that's one outcome if we're not seeing the best case scenario where it breaks to the upside and it's coming back down here. So I did ladder some buys here just in case we do get like a wick and it does look like it's going to break down and then it bounces back up. So I have some buys layered down here and I'm ready to cut the trade short to cut the trade loose if we keep breaking down. So that is an option for Bitcoin. Why I think that we might see a bounce soon is because I'll jump to the Bitcoin dominance right here and you can see like this is a perfect place to bounce. We're sitting on a huge support. We're sitting on a huge support. We're seeing a divergence on the RSI in price right now. So we're like making lower lows right here while the RSI is making higher lows. So not only are we on this huge support, and I mean the dominance of Bitcoin's just been shit lately. So, and where we are in the market, I think people are going to start potentially turning their crypto, their alts, whatever it may be, maybe their NFTs as well, back into Bitcoin, back into Ethereum, more Bitcoin to be honest for this to pump up, and then we'll see that bounce here. At one point, in my opinion, we will need some bounce. Like, look at how extreme this is to both sides, how the sentiment changes hard. Like, look here. When the bear market came in 2018, you can see how it quickly reversed and all the volume in alts got converted into Bitcoin. So are we in a similar bear trend right now? Have we topped over in Q4 of 2021? And are we going into a bear market? And if that's the case, you'll see a lot of alts get turned into Bitcoin. The Bitcoin dominance will move up. Alts are going to get smashed in Bitcoin, in the Bitcoin pair. So I'm looking for awesome pairs, awesome alts that I believe in that will get smashed against Bitcoin, and then I'll buy. So that is kind of the outlook for Bitcoin. We saw best case scenario, we go up, break above here, we test here, you'd add on to it, and we go long. If we don't bounce off this support right here, we're going to break down. How far do we break down? It's hard to say. Are we going to bounce off the support? This would be my next buying area if we break this down. If you want to wait, I always love recommending the 4 and 9 moving average. It's a great way to start trading. Like if we look on the daily as well, so let's look at a potential Bitcoin signal, and then I am going to jump off. I have a lot of practicing to do for the largest NFT gaming tournament, Crab Games, for millions of dollars. So as crazy as that sounds, I want to show you guys this. We were on a downtrend with Bitcoin in terms of the RSI for a whole year. We broke above it right here. I mean, we broke this downtrend right here, and we had to cross over on the 4 and 9 moving average. Like, this was an awesome buy. I was looking at this area for, the whole time we were trading it down, and as soon as I said the RSI is breaking out and this breaks out, this is an awesome buy. Like, there's so much confluence here. So I want to look for something similar here. Like, when are we going to start buying? If you haven't bought in this support here, or if you're looking for a great buy, let's look for something similar. So we have a slightly long RSI downtrend right here. We've had a large downtrend, about 40% from the top, so we're kind of expecting some sort of bounce. There may be some sell down still, there may be another leg down, so we don't want to jump in until we are certain. How are we going to be certain? You can use the daily 4 and 9, or you can use the weekly 4 and 9. So the weekly will filter out a lot of whipsaws. You'll get a later price, but you're not going to go in and out. But let me show you what happens if you go in and out on the daily. It's still profitable. It's just a little bit more work. So this is the last Bitcoin pullback, and you had, and let's just remove the price, because we don't need this with the moving averages. We had, you're out of the market now. You bought on this crossover. It didn't cross over here, and you sold. So this wasn't the best trade, but you made 5%. You bought on this crossover, you sold. You may have not made the most money here, or you may have even lost some money on fees. So you do get these small whipsaws, and whipsaw, if you don't know what it means, is just kind of like a false move. Like, you're a false signal, you go in, you get whipsawed, you're in and out, you just lose a little bit of money, but you're actually making a little bit here. So with the 4 and 9, you'll get these false signals sometimes, and if you're following the strategy, you're coming out, you're following, on a crossover, bullish crossover, you're buying. On a death cross, on a golden cross, you're buying. On a death cross, you're selling. If you follow that, your losses will be very minimalized. But when the winners do hit, like this right here, so like I said, let's go. Enter 1%, enter, break even or lose 1% on fees. Nothing right here. You enter here. Now this is where the winner is. This is where it really counts. So you enter all the way till it crosses again here. That's 57%. Enter, whipsaw, enter. Now this is another trade. So this is a great signal. And then this is another 45%. And this is if you're following the exits as well. I usually don't follow the exits. I try to time, the sell myself. Sometimes I do better, sometimes I don't. But take a look. If I turn the pricing back on, you can see that sometimes, the pricing is over where the cross happens, so you can actually get more gains. So you can see on smaller time frames, you sometimes get the whipsaws where you go in and you're getting out in the next few days. It's a little bit more work if you're on the daily, but on the weekly, you'll get these awesome signals. So let's just take a look at the few signals on the weekly. You exited 54K, you bought 37K, you exited 58K, and now we're waiting to buy again. You could be extremely patient. You don't need to rush into buying. If you're dollar cost averaging Bitcoin now, if you're just buying every month, if you're making, let's say, $2,000 a month, or let's go just for easy numbers, $1,000 a month in math. You have $500 in expenses, and then you have $400 in entertainment, food, whatever. If you have $100 left over every month, and that's all you need. My brother, I Instagrammed yesterday. He sent me a post or a conversation of us. I sent him $20 in Ethereum 5 years ago. That's about over $400. I swear, if you just slowly dollar cost average and add, regardless of the price, if it's up here, if it's up here, if it's here. I mean, if you dollar costed here, like look where the price is. If Bitcoin hasn't done anybody wrong for anybody holding 4 years, if you've held Bitcoin for over 4 years, you're in profit. You always will be in profit. I mean, if Bitcoin continues to succeed. So look long term, think long term. If you're buying Bitcoin and stacking it when it's 40% from the top and even maybe 50 or 60%, you will get some awesome entries. Nobody could time the bottom, nobody could time the top. It's very hard. That's why we use technical analysis to help us. And it gives us awesome insight because not only does it give me an entry and a take profit, it gives me, allows me to use some sort of risk management because I can use stop losses. And I have, the whole trade in my mind before I take it, for my entry, for my take profit, and for my exit, my stop loss. So if you need any help, I think I'm going to do more videos on technical analysis, like basic videos on, support and resistance, some trading strategies, more than just the 4 and 9, candle variations and things like that. So people can be more equipped when trading. I hope you guys got some value from this video. If you want to wait for Bitcoin for a buy signal, you can look for the daily 4 and 9 switch right here. So this would be awesome. If we got a RSI break of this downtrend while we got a 4 and 9 crossover, and that would be 2 buy signals. We call that confirmation. If you have more confirmation, like it bouncing off of this huge support, that's a 3rd one. So then it gives you more reason to take a trade than just like, oh, I saw friggin' Elon Musk tweet this Dogecoin, I'm going to buy it. So when you learn to be more confident and spot opportunities, you start making some awesome money in the market. So like I said, hope you guys had some value. I got this game, crab games, I got to practice for. There's huge amounts of money on the line. So enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I'll see you guys tomorrow.